Prepper again, and today I'd like to go over my medical kit with you. I use this medical kit as part of my tours that I do, so it tends to be a bit more extensive than a lot of stuff that you'll see out there. I have to deal with people for 2 weeks, and I have to deal with a variety of everything from a little splinter to stub toe, all the way up to motorcycle road rash with numerous people. So I thought I'd show you what I have in here. Now, I do have some paramedic training, not complete and never certified, but I do have enough training to know what I have in here and how to use it, which is vitally important. So I'm going to start going over the kit. The bag is made by a company called Iron Duck. I love it. It's the IDX Iron Duck. It's the bag. It's about $180 I spent for the bag and some of the contents. I have since pitched away most of the cheap crap that they sent with it. So now I have what I need in it, not the cheap garbage that they send along with it. It's really bad bandages, stuff like that. So let's just tear right in here and go on in and take a look. First, we'll start with the lid, with the top. First thing, in a little pouch over here, I have flashlight right there. That's very important. So got one of those. I have one of these. I have a couple of them. I have that for holding bandages. I also have this for an esophageal clearing tool. So we have that. Next, of course, a couple pairs of scissors, safety scissors for cutting off leather. I've got one for just basically cutting off jeans and clothing and etc. Then I have another one which is a type of serrated blade, and this one is good. This one will cut through leather, which is what I need. Someone goes down and they're wearing leather chaps or something like that, and I need to get through them, so I've got those. And then, of course, I have gluconate. This is a glucose solution for people. I've had a lot of people that were diabetic on my tours, so I've got an emergency glucose solution there. Keep them from going into diabetic freak out. Next, pulse oximeter. This was actually relatively inexpensive. This one I got at, I believe it was Target. It's a great little pulse oximeter, and all you do is you just stick the finger in there, and then it will show your pulse and oxygen level, which is very useful. Takes a minute for it to get going. It's got to be positioned in the right place too, which I don't think I have it. Anyway, good pulse oximeter. Oh, there we go. You can change the display. There we go. Pulse rate, oxygen saturation, the works. Anyway, might be, I need a new battery too. Oh, nope, there it goes. There's my heart rate. And, well, I'm at 10,000 feet, almost 10,000 feet up here. So I tend to have a little bit lower pulse ox than most people just because, well, I'm almost 10,000 feet. So anyway, you just take your finger out and it automatically shuts off after a while. But that's very important. Next, there is a zipper compartment in the bag itself, in the top. This is also for diabetics. And this is an energy bar. It's one of these emergency food rations. But these work good, and these tend to hit people pretty quickly, too, because they do have some sugar in them and fat and calories. So I have those just in case for diabetics. And then I have some of these, which I got. These are Sani cloth. These are bleach. These are basically bleach wipes. And this is great for sterilizing a surface. You don't use this on a person. If you need to sterilize a surface or a tool or something, that's what I have these for. These are great. They work wonderful. You can get them at some medical supply companies. So these are really good. Or you can order them online. Next, we'll keep digging in here. I just have some little fresh nap stuff. Got those free. Didn't pay for those. Got them at a restaurant, actually. Some extra bags. For making ice packs for people. They get a bruise or bump or something, or sore back, sore neck, sore leg, whatever. Just some bags to put ice in, and anything else really. Some paracord, and I have this one set up to where this unravels, and then I can tension it and use this to cut off blood circulation. So this works really well. This spreads out the area to where it doesn't harm it like cord would. Just like a cord or rubber tubing. So, and just having paracord is always good, always handy. You never know when you're going to need some. Make a splint, whatever. And we keep going. More bags, just larger ones. And in this bag, it's in a dry bag, these are all the extra large, gigantic, let's open it up here for you. These are all the extra large, gigantic, like surgical pads and large trauma dressings. And these are the good ones. And I'll show you the difference and what I mean here in just a minute. But I'll close that back up. But I have that, of course, in a dry bag. Keep it dry and clean. Right there. And I think that should be about it. Yeah, that's it for the top. So for the main compartment, let's start with just have some wipes, refreshing wipes. These are just things, you know, clean off some blood or just clean off an area before I go to it. Just disposable stuff. Not expensive either. That's the key. Next, I got some rubber gloves. I have some vet wrap. This is the vet wrap that I've used that's open. So I'll go more into that later, but I have that in a separate bag. And then we have the bottles. We have hydrogen peroxide. We have alcohol, 91% isopropyl, which is very handy. And this is actually one of the best things that I have in here, in my opinion, is the Banana Boat Aloe After Sun. This stuff is great for sunburn and windburn. Also works really well for putting around a wound. And you can also use it on the actual bandage itself to prevent the bandage from healing to the wound, which you can also do with petroleum jelly. So I have that. I have some saline solution for eyes. This is primarily as an eye wash. I get a lot of people that they go to pump gasoline and they aren't paying attention, or they're looking right at it and the nozzle moves and they splash gasoline in their eyes. Well, I grab this, just hose out their eyes I'll use a whole bottle to do that. And usually they won't have to go to the hospital. If they do, well, you know, that's if it's severe. But if it's not severe, this is good enough. So this works, and it's cheap. I think this was like a $2.95 or something. So, let's see, next. I'm going to that later. Oh, yes, okay. Next is the first aid antiseptic. This is Povidone Iodine. Great stuff, great sterilizer. This could also be used for water purification, too, in a pinch. You could use this. Iodine will kill even the viruses in the water. Not just the bacteria, but the viruses. The only problem is the iodine flavor. So I'm going to put all this back as I go in to the rest of the bag. All right. I'll move this out of the way for the moment. I'll show you what I have here. These are electrolyte tablets. Got these. I think I got these at a sport nutrition store. This is like $3. This is 16 tablets. They dissolve. They're like Alka-Seltzer. They're effervescent, as they say. And these are there especially for when we're in the desert and people don't drink, or they drink water, but they don't replace the salts and the potassium in their system, and their body is less likely or less able to absorb water if your electrolytes are off. So this is actually really important to have if you're in a hot environment, is keep your electrolytes balanced, which is primarily salt and potassium. But these are really good. I love these. But these are for an emergency if someone is badly dehydrated, and their electrolytes are way off and they're feeling sick. Plus, it's got a nice flavor and it makes them so they want to drink it. So I'll do this. I usually use Gatorade, but for an emergency stuff, I use these. So next we have a foam splint, just typical foam splint. This one you use for making a temporary splint on someone's arm, lower leg, somewhere like that. I don't have the massive one. This one is typically all that I ever need, but I have one of those in there, and that helps. I've had to use that numerous times, actually. Next is this one right here, and this one is some sterilizing stuff, also wound cleaning. A few fresh naps, some burn cooling gel, and then I always have a few packages of this on hand, which is Zeroform. And Zeroform, it's a petroleum dressing. This is what you would use on a wound to keep it from, you would put this under a bandage directly on the wound to prevent it from sticking to the wound when it heals. So the bandage doesn't stick to it and you don't pull off all of the new tissue when you do that. Very important. Next in here, see, there's another package of it, just a different type. Then I have alcohol prep pads, lots of alcohol prep pads, lots and lots and lots. some ammonia inhalants, and some afterbite stuff too. So that's basically what's in that one. So let me put all that back real quick. Alrighty. Alright, so that's that. And if you notice, I've got most of the bandages. They're all in waterproof containers. Because sometimes you have to be out in the rain or something and you don't want everything getting soaked and then you got to throw it away. Next, we have tape. Yes, all sorts of tape. All sorts of tape. I got all the tape that you need to hold bandages on. Once again, airtight container so it stays good for a long time too. So that way the adhesive doesn't oxidize and become worthless. This next one, this is just kind of a general topical ointment medication type of stuff. Got some anti-itch cream, which is hydrocortisone. And got some triple antibiotic. Also, Lamisil. This is an antifungal. So for all of you with athlete's foot. But you can also get fungal infections in other places too. So this will take care of fungal infections. I've got a couple of these in here. Preparation H. This is for all those people. Yes, you get hemorrhoids. Well, it's nice to have a few of these. And these are nice, small, convenient, single use. The rest are things like, well, X-Lax, diuretics, some cold tablets, aspirin, just all sorts of meds, some loperamide, which is Imodium AD, which we use fairly frequently. And I'll put all that back in. So that's just basically some of the medications that I have in here. So I'll put that back there. Next big one, pull this one out. This is other sterilization stuff as well, and wound sterilization. Once again, I have more of these Sani cloths, the bleach Sani cloths. Those are great, and they're just single use. I love them. I have some Povidone or some iodine tincture. This is great stuff. It is poisonous. You use it on shallow wounds, scrapes. You don't use it on a deep puncture wound or anything like that. And also iodine. This can be used for water purification as well. Also have some eye spray, which is a lubricant, some throat spray, Germex, just alcohol gel. Let's see, another prep pads, some saline nasal mist, and then also some Curad silver solution. It's an antimicrobial, really good stuff, and some more triple antibiotic ointment. So that's all in that container. So that's kind of like for wound care and everything. So next I've got just a instant cold pack, and then down at the bottom some Q-tips. So just some little baby buds, and another ice pack. I've got several ice packs. So they do come in handy. Unfortunately, they are one-use kind of deals. So I don't rely on them too heavily. They're good to have, but you don't need to rely on them too heavily. So that's there. Next, moving over, put that back, these are the bandages. These are little band-aids, little small band-aids. This is just the little stuff, knuckle bandages, finger bandages, small ones all the way up to the large ones, the real big ones there. So I spilled some iodine in here, so it's kind of, but there's an iPad. There's all the stuff that you would need for just small wound management, stuff like that. And that's all that goes in there. And then behind that, we have some more Surflex flexible bandage. They call this vet wrap. I get this stuff. It's about $2.50 at the feed store. They use this on horses, but it's great for holding on bandages. It holds itself on. It's stretchy, it's elastic, and it sticks to itself, so you don't need pins or needles or anything. Great stuff. This is a spray bottle with the Povidone iodine solution in it. And I use this whenever I need to spray down an area. Someone drops a bike or something to get road rash on their leg. This way you can lightly spray a whole area and not use a whole lot of it, but it'll still do the job. So there's all that. Next is this side. Let's see, we got more vet wrap. Let's see, more vet wrap. I think it's like $3 or $3 a roll, and I'll go through rolls of it in the summer. This one is larger bandages, gauze pads. There's all the different types in here. There's xeroform dressing. There's triangular bandages, all the way up to the large trauma bandages. So I have that. and that stays in there. So there's that. Like you'd use one of these and then you put the vet wrap over it around the limb, around the body to hold one of these on. So that goes back in. Next, wound wash saline. This is a spray bottle. This works really good. I use this just for debriding wounds, getting all the gravel out, stuff like that. You know, I go through a few of these a year. This one's left from last year, actually. I need to get a new one. So it's still good, though. Yeah, expiration date's still good. So, plus saline solution. What the hell's going to go wrong with it? Here, I've got some more gloves. This way I don't have to carry a whole box, but these are also the nitrile, and these are also the extra heavy-duty thick ones. So I don't like the really thin ones, which are the gray ones. These from earlier, these puncture too easily, but I'll still use them. These are the quickies, these are the cheapies, but these are the good heavy-duty ones, and I love these. These are great. I've got boxes of these. Here, I'll show you the vet wrap. And this is the vet wrap here. See if I can peel off a layer. Like I said, it is self-adhesive. It does like to stick to itself. There we go. And you can see it's elastic, and it will wrap around. Whoop. Let's see if I can do this here on this. You can wrap it around. Pretty tight, too. And then it sticks to itself, you see? You don't need any extra pins or anything. So this stuff is wonderful. This would be great trauma dressing. Hospitals use this, military uses this. Great stuff for holding on trauma dressing. So, and it is also, it's a mesh, so it's actually kind of breathable, so the skin doesn't get all clammy and pasty underneath and bacteria grows. So this is good stuff to have. Anyway, back to it. Down in here, I've got another one. I got a solar cane. This one's different. This one has lidocaine in it. This has a 1% lidocaine solution right here. And this is for if you get a really bad burn. This is someone, you know, I've had people put their leg, they were stupid and wearing shorts while riding a Harley, and they accidentally hit their calf on the exhaust and get a second-degree burn. Well, this one, the aloe helps heal and keep the wound somewhat moist, and then also the lidocaine is a topical anesthetic. It helps kill the pain. So this is really good stuff. Solar cane, cool aloe. But if you just need aloe, that's why I have the big one. So there's that. I'll put that back in. Yeah, that's all down there. And then next I have, this is the trauma kit. This is actually more than trauma, really. This is something different. And this is reserved for rare use, very rare use. This is for traumatic injuries. This is some masks. Also, some vial access spike. And some 10 milliliter syringes, hypodermic needles, and then most importantly, lidocaine hydrochloride, 1%, which you can get. You can buy 1%. It's legal over the counter. I also have some tools in here for doing sutures. And underneath all this, I have my suture kit, or my sutures. And this is a 2-aught. I've got 2-aught, 3-aught, 4-aught. I've got about 6 of them in the bag. So take care of any wound. Also a razor for shaving off any hair. Brand new razor, never used. And then I also have a larger syringe. This one is for flushing stuff out of ears or eyes or what have you. And then some tweezers, just very basic different types of tweezers. And then also I have some sterile single-use surgical scalpels. And this is for if I have to dig a splinter out of someone or what have you. They're single-use, sterile, still in the pack. So, and that's why I have the lidocaine and the hypodermic needles and all that. So, and I have been trained on how to put in and take out sutures. I do know how to do it. I have done it to myself even. So I have been trained. I know what I'm doing. If you are not trained, do not attempt to put in sutures. It is not a good idea. You can hit an artery, you can hit a vein, you can hit a nerve bundle. You can do a hell of a lot more damage to someone than you're fixing if you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be very careful. Plus, if you stitch it up wrong, they're going to have a gigantic scar. There's also the possibility for secondary infection, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus infection, etc. Don't do it. If you have not been trained, do not try. Okay? I have been trained by a registered nurse and a doctor on how to do it. So that's almost all for the bag here. I do have some more scattered throughout the bag. I also have my emergency trauma dressing. Yes, I know it's a feminine hygiene product. This is an immediate oh shit product. This is the, okay, someone just dropped the bike, they got road rash. How do you stop the bleeding? Well, I'm not going to use my really expensive bandages for that, for the initial, to stop the bleeding. I'm going to use these. Just sanitary napkins. They're cheap, they're clean, and they come in large packs for really cheap. I actually got them on clearance. Got them on sale for next to nothing. So think about that. That is important. So let me put this back here before I dig into the rest of this. And one thing about a bag like this, a place for everything and everything in its place. Because in an emergency, you don't want to have to think or spend your time looking around, oh shit, where's this, where's that? You just want to be able to grab it and use it. So practice. That's another thing. Practice doing it. Oh, and also, almost forgot, in the side here, I have disposable eye shields for in case someone has a spurting wound or anything. I have these as well, just to protect my eyes from any possible contamination from someone with any condition. So hepatitis, HIV, whatever. So I have those. Those are all in there. So that's that. We're going to go into the side now. In the side, I've got my tag on it so people know it's mine. So it's got my business card on it. And then over here, on this side, this is all over-the-counter medicines. Right here. These are very important also for when I do my tours. People get headaches, they get sore, they get aches, aches and pains, they have allergies, other problems. So I carry along a big bottle of diphenhydramine. Great stuff, great for allergic reactions, and people have hay fever, stuff like that. This is Benadryl. This diphenhydramine is Benadryl, same thing. This is just the Costco stuff. This is like $6. This would be $100 worth of Benadryl or more. So it's just diphenhydramine hydrochloride, 25 milligrams. Next on the line, we have your ibuprofen for muscle aches. And then we also have aspirin, acetaminophen, and we keep that in there. That's just for headaches, muscle aches, whatever. Just general pain control. Naproxen sodium, which is also known as Aleve. This is an anti-arthritic, anti-inflammatory. So if someone's joints are really aching and all that, I give them this. And then, of course, I have aspirin, safety-coated enteric aspirin. And this is for someone, they have a heart attack, they have a stroke. Here, chew a few of these. And also just for pain control. So we have those. Next, we have more antihistamine. This is diphenhydramine once again. I always carry a lot of it. People got a lot of allergies, especially when traveling to a different country. Their body's not used to the pollen. And then we have loperamide, and this is the antidiarrheal right here. This is the same as Ammonium AD. This is just over-the-counter stuff. This is stuff, if you want to get this much of the actual name brand stuff, this is about $100 worth right here. This was $6. All I did was walk up to the pharmacy at my local grocery store and say I'd like a large bottle of some antidiarrheal loperamide. It's 48 caplets. There's 10 to a package, so that's 48, or no, that's what? Let's see, there's 10, so what? That's 5 packets, and it's about $12 a packet. So that's about $60, $70 worth of loperamide if you were to buy the Ammonium AD separately. So I just went up, this was like $6. It's cheap. It's cheap when you buy it in large quantity. So there we go. That's about it for that side. So these are just over-the-counter meds. Nothing fancy there. And this is the one I use the most for people. Like, oh, I got a headache. Oh, my back aches, etc., etc. All right, I'll give you one of these. And it's over the counter, so there's no liability involved in giving someone something. I can't give out schedule type stuff. any scheduled narcotics or anything like that. I'm not qualified. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse practitioner, nothing like that. So I cannot make prescriptions. Next is an ear thermometer. And I use this a lot, especially when we're in the desert. People get hyperthermic. I have to use this to make sure that, well, or just to see what their body temperature's at, whether or not I need to call for paramedics because they have hyperthermia. So I need to keep an eye on that. That's real simple. Also good for general use. Parts of my stethoscopes. Also, I have some lubricating jelly. Yes, lubricating jelly. This stuff is, well, probably you guys know it as sex lube, but it's not. You can use this for a variety of things. I've had people break a finger and they needed to get their they wanted to get their wedding ring off, things like that. It also helps when putting a bandage on or taking it off even too. You can just put a little drop of this on one side and it'll peel off easily and it doesn't cause as much pain. So I have that. And then we go into the equipment and we go to the stethoscopes. I have 2 of them. So I have two stethoscopes, and then I have a blood pressure cuff right here. And that stays in there. This is just your typical one. Bought this at a medical supply store. I think it was like 20 bucks with this cheapo stethoscope. I still have my good one. I like my good one. I don't like that cheap ass one. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound as good. So it doesn't give as clear sound. I also have these. You guys might have seen these in my bug out bag. These also can be used for holding on bandages. And you can also use them as a temporary splint. This is Velcro and cloth. Velcro strips sewn onto one cloth. And then you can just put it around a wound like that. And it can be put on pretty tight. I've even used these also. You can put this around a leg or an arm as a tourniquet to slow or stop the bleeding. But you got to be careful when you do that. You got to be real careful, actually. But primarily, these are just to hold bandages on. I've got 2 of them. I've got a small one for arms. I got a big, thick, round one for legs and torso, for like upper thigh and torso. And I have those. So these are really handy. They come in real handy. And then finally, we have a CPR/oxygen mask right here. And this is just your typical oxygen mask. Right there. It's also for a bag. I don't have the bag in here. I left that in the truck, actually. If you need to bag someone, then it also has the oxygen inlet here, too. So you can put that on someone. And I do have an oxygen tank, but that's out in the truck as well. And it's cold out. I'm lazy. It's Sunday. I'm not going out to go get them. Anyway, so, but I have that. And that also works for CPR, too. That makes a nice, tight seal around there. This is like $4 or $5. It was really cheap. It was not that expensive, and it can make a huge difference. Those are really good for also small child CPR too. So, but that's the basics of the bag. I hope that gave you guys some idea of what I carry and what we carry. Just so you know, and this would be included in my bug out kit. If I have to leave town, this would be coming with me. This is part of my bug out kit for my vehicle. If I have to leave in my vehicle, or if I can leave in my vehicle, I should say, I'll put in my camping and bug out kit, which are the large black boxes with yellow bins. They'll be they're right here on my video. They're down there somewhere. Just look it up. But I'll take this as well. So this would be my first aid kit. And this would last me quite a while. This would actually be pretty good for quite some time. I didn't show you, but along the side, back up in here, I've got about 30 or 40 of those, what you calls them? Panty liners or the feminine hygiene stuff. They work. And I've also got some, I've got a box of tampons. Let me see. No, they're packed in there. They're back up in here. I'd have to unload something to get to them. Anyway, but you get the idea. This would be good for everything from minor scrapes, scratches, bruises, all the way up to broken limbs and traumatic injury. So this is the basic kit, and I've got an even larger, more extensive kit, but that stays at home. That's my home kit. This is the portable kit. This is the one that I'll take with me. So anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys like it. Please, if you have any comments, questions, anything, put them down below. I want to see them. Please subscribe, rate, and leave me some comments. I love comments. I love responding to them. I try to respond to as many as possible. So please, let me know what you think. What am I missing? What do I need? What do I have too much of? Any of your comments are welcome. Okay? Thanks a lot, and until next time, keep on prepping.
Dr. Funkenstein, the disco fiend with the monster sound, the cool ghoul with the bum transplant.